Hi, it's Steve again with another sales tips video. Today's topic is on how to increase referrals for increased sales. We all know the positive impact that referrals can have on our ability to close more deals. I'd like to just use a few statistics to reinforce the importance of referrals in our sales prospecting activity. The first stat is from the New York Times survey that suggests that 65% of new business comes from referrals. And Nielsen did a study that suggested that people are 400% more likely to buy from a friend's referral. And Dale Carnegie said that 91% of satisfied customers are willing to refer. So we know the power of referrals, and yet there are three mistakes that we typically find salespeople make. Mistake number one is being too afraid to ask. We feel some discomfort in asking people to refer us into friends or colleagues that they might have, or we forget to ask. And what we're going to suggest is do it, but also do it at the appropriate time. So if we were to take a typical buying cycle where a customer's in the status quo and then they decide that they want to buy something, they're going to consider their options, they're going to think about the impact of those options on their circumstance, whether personal or business circumstance, they'll make their decision and then they'll implement or process their buying decision. The typical point, if salespeople ask, is around here. Once the customer has actually experienced the service or the product that they're purchasing. So we find that most salespeople plan to ask for referral here. The problem with that is that not only is it too late, but it gets forgotten by both parties. What we're going to suggest is bring it right up front earlier on in the sales process. So ask here, we dare you. Now that might seem counterintuitive that we would ask before a customer has experienced our service or product, but actually our findings and also the research supports the idea that the thing being referred is not the product or service typically, it's you. It's you, the salesperson, who's part of this process. And the customer or the prospect can get a sense and a flavour of you through your sales conversation, whether they choose to buy or not. So ask right at the start, don't ask for the referral straight away, but just make sure you're teeing up this idea at the end of the process you will be asking. What it'll do is remind you and the customer that you're going to do that. The third mistake is having no systematic process for asking for referrals. So build referral requests into all aspects of your sales process and also your service interactions with customers after they've bought your product and service. Make it a natural part of what you do and you'll start to see your referrals increase. I'm going to give you this acronym REFER to help you remember to make referrals a more systematic part. Now, the R of refer is remember, and remember this, people actually want to refer. So you will have found yourself referring other people into different product or service areas that they're looking at. So people like to help people. It's part of nature's great joy. The second one is explain. It's how you do business. You know, if 65% of new products are sold through a referral, then most business comes from word of mouth or someone referring you in some way. So tell customers that's how you do it. The F is feature it. Feature it early in the conversation as we suggested. Don't wait until the end when both parties forget. The E is elicit. Don't stop at one referral. People will be willing to give you more and more referrals based on how you interact and the value and the trust that they have in you. And the final piece is reciprocate. So find a way to reciprocate in any kind of way, whether that's providing someone with a gift. The key here is to try and make it unexpected and bespoke because that increases the impact of the reciprocation. I'm going to leave you with one tip right at the end, which is as a result of this video, I'd really love you to get a piece of paper and develop a list of potential referral contacts that you could proactively speak to and find some referrals. By the way, these don't have to be people that you haven't dealt with yet. These could be people that you've dealt with for years or have bought something off you in the past and you'd forgotten to ask for a referral. Go back to them and say, I can't believe that I never asked you this. Is there anyone else that you would recommend to me as having value and having a conversation with me about the kind of things we do? If you'd like to chat a little bit more about how you can make referrals a systematic part of your sales process, please contact me, steve@salestrong.co.uk.